All right, let's pivot back to Amazon. We're talking about things that are everywhere virtually these days. This is something that's everywhere. Everybody's doorstep has a box from Amazon Prime on it, or it seems that everyone does, Jeff. This is a time, granted, President Obama is saying the economy is going great guns, but it's not. It's kind of meandering along. Yeah. Retailers are lucky if they get maybe 1 or 2% increase. Amazon had a 27% increase in sales. How is that possible?
Well, for starters, I mean, they're growing more globally. I think they just opened up in India right now, and with Prime Now and Prime, it's amazing. You literally go on your app and you know it's there the next day. Another thing that's going to be really interesting to see, though, how much Amazon can actually grow in the next year or 2 years is going to be called the last mile. So obviously they need close locations to be able to get the products there that quickly. So some of those industrial warehouses in big cities and all over the country, how they actually partner with them, and the cost of those are skyrocketing. So actually off Amazon, which some people may say, how do I buy it at these levels? I'm starting to follow some of the REITs like Stag and Prolist that are basically providing that warehouse space now in the U.S. and nationally.
By the way, it's very interesting. Look at the numbers after hours here. The close was $7.52. Now they blew away their revenue number. They were expecting $1.11. They got over $1.70 per share. But after hours, the bid is a little low from where it closed. Daniel, there are some problems. I mean, everything is not smooth sailing for Amazon. Prime is doing great guns in the United States, but not so much elsewhere. Overseas, you're in Canada. It's not quite caught on in overseas as it has here in the U.S., right?
No, and Amazon has a similar problem to Netflix in some ways when it comes to content licensing. They introduced Prime in Canada a few years ago, but it's never had the same value proposition as it has in the United States. And that's because they just can't offer the same breadth of services and content that they do in its home country.
Will they ever be able to do that? Do you think there may be some way in the future where transocean commerce is more efficient than it is now?
Absolutely, and we've seen a decrease in overseas transportation, but really what Amazon needs to do is open up fulfillment centers in countries in Europe, in Asia, in places like India, and they are doing that. But that costs, as another guest said, I'm sorry I forgot your name, a lot of money. And as we know, Amazon really needs to push Prime into as many people's wallets as possible. And they're doing a good job, but it's more than just getting packages quickly.
Kevin, there's another service or product. Actually, it's a service that Amazon provides, AWS, becoming a huge business because we all know how online computing, online television is such it is absolutely key to making money in this new age, in the new cloud age. But there's a lot of competition for AWS. Microsoft is getting into it. A lot of other companies, good competitive companies, are getting into the same line. Are they going to present a challenge to AWS?
Well, there's plenty of space to grow, and we're seeing we're just scratching the surface when it comes to this whole cloud computing on-demand services that they're providing. What's important to note is that they are the clear leader in this space. I mean, there's no way all these apps that have spurred up and providing us all this convenience would exist without Amazon. If I use Venmo right now, which is the social mobile payment owned by PayPal, it uses part of AWS. Spotify uses this. I mean, it is really the backbone of the internet and mobile revolution. And so they're the clear winner, and they have the developers around it, and they built the ecosystem. So they're really the Uber of AWS, of the cloud computing space. And Microsoft provides a different type of service. Same with Google. So they're really differentiated.
Jeff, there's another thing about Amazon, which is their third-party sales are growing tremendously. A lot of times when I want to get into a Prime product, I see it because I'm a Prime member, and it's cheaper, of course, and you get it delivered quicker and everything, but they send me to a third party. I don't get all the advantages. However, they make a lot of money from these third-party sales, don't they?
They do. Again, those typically come with longer delivery cycles, and actually they charge more for the shipment of them, but they are making a lot of money off the third-party service or products. Now, one thing I will point out, they're having a little bit of an issue with sometimes is the quality of those products.
Right.
There has been a little bit of pushback as far as the authenticity and how they actually look up. So the quality control around making sure how those actually perform in the long run is something they do need to focus on, because that's been a little bit more noise we've been hearing lately, and we want to be able to trust that when we hit that prime in that product, it's authentic and it actually works according to our expectations.
Very, very true.